Hey, everybody. Welcome back to another film room session of Pittsburgh Steelers as they lost in frustrating fashion this past weekend to the Jacksonville Jaguars 20-10 in a game that left more questions than answers. The biggest question is Kenny Pickett the guy? Is he the franchise guy moving forward? Should the Pittsburgh Steelers consider looking at different options at the end of the year? Let's look into it. Let's break it down. In my opinion, I think the offensive performance this game here against the Jacksonville Jaguars was subpar because of multiple reasons, whether it was wide receiver drops. Quarterback did have a lot of miscues, whether it was bad passes, bad reads, or just inaccurate throws. Protection was an issue in this game as well. And there was a couple of bad calls by the offensive coordinator. Let's get into it. So this is the first play of the game for the offense where Deontay Johnson ends up dropping the ball. That could have gone for big play. So you have Connor Hayward going in motion right there, and you really don't see any movement from the defense. So what does that tell you? That tells you more than likely that the defense, especially on the top half of the screen, is running some sort of zone type of coverage. At the bottom of the screen, you see the outside cornerback in what looks like press coverage at the bottom. So could be a mixed coverage for the defense. Now this is the what the offense is running. Yeah, at the top of the screen, you have Connor doing a comeback. You have Allen Robinson going up and out towards the sideline. Deontay Johnson's going to run a skinny post down the middle, and then Najee Harris in the backfield, he's just going to kind of run out there towards the sideline. And what he does is he pulls in the inside linebacker, the left side inside linebacker for the defense, and keeps him honest, and really is what lets this play develop. This is the first couple of plays are scripted, right? First 10, 12, this is the first play of the game. So what the Pittsburgh Steelers offense coordinator did on this play should have worked. So right here, you can see Kenny Pickett's already winding up to throw it to Deontay Johnson. He's coming wide open in the soft coverage area of the zone. Good read by the quarterback. Good play by the offensive coordinator. In my opinion, I think it's a pretty good throw too. Just comes off of both hands for Deontay Johnson, and we'll get a better angle of it from this view. Protection looks good. It's actually a 5-man pressure, so it was considered a blitz. It was picked up well. Just doesn't bring it in. So this is the second play of the game, and this is going to be a sack taken by Kenny Pickett. Trayvon Walker on the left side of the field is just going to abuse Chukwuekorfor, and it's going to be a common occurrence in this game. And when you go back and watch the other angle from this down the field, there's nobody open in time for Kenny Pickett. He's under pressure too quick to go through his progressions to find anyone open in that situation. My opinion, that play was on the offensive line. So this is third down, same drive. And what's going to end up happening here is Kenny's going to leave the pocket, scramble around, and find Deontay Johnson open. It makes a good, accurate throw to Deontay Johnson. He just drops it again. That could have easily been intercepted too. He'll have a better angle from this view here of how good this throw was from Kenny Pickett, because he really did throw Deontay Johnson open. So as you can see, Deontay Johnson right now, he's at the bottom of your screen. He's facing the sideline, and you can already tell that this ball is going behind him compared to where he's facing. Deontay stops, turns around, and here's the reason why Kenny Pickett threw it there. As you can see, left to Deontay Johnson is a Jacksonville Jaguars defender. Had Kenny Pickett led him to go towards the sideline, I don't know if that's going to end up being a completion. That could end up being an interception. Either way, he throws Deontay Johnson open in this play, in my opinion. It hits him where it should be caught. Take a notice of his gloves. They're white on the outside, white on the inside. A little bit later, you're going to notice that they're going to be gray on the inside. So he did switch out his gloves. I don't know if that ended up being the issue or not. So this on the next drive, this is going to be first down for the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Steelers are going to put themselves in position to get a first down. What you have at the bottom of the screen, press coverage on Deontay Johnson. You're also going to have somewhat of a zone coverage. What Pickett is going to be reading is number 41 of the Jacksonville Jaguars, Josh Allen. He's going to end up dropping into coverage, and he's basically going to be going up and replacing one of the middle linebackers as the safety drops down. This is going to be more of like a traditional cover two. When Josh Allen runs up, he's going to leave this area open for Deontay Johnson underneath where the slant is, and it's going to go for a pretty good gain. I know, good throw on time, good accurate throw. Doesn't get the first down, but gets close. Protection's good throw. So the next play, this is the same drive. It's going to be 3rd down and 2 still after the Pittsburgh Steelers did not convert on 2nd down. And right here, you have a little bit of motion by number 11, Allen Robinson. Number 37 is following him for the Jacksonville Jaguars. So that's a pretty good indication that this is going to be man. Across the board, even from the top of the screen, you have press coverage and you have a single safety up top. So it doesn't seem like the Jacksonville Jaguars are hiding anything. They're doing man cover 1. George Pickens says, single safety high, let it fly. So here's the route combinations. You're going to have Hayward go up and crossover. George Pickens is going to come open up and down the field towards the sideline, and you're going to have Allen Robinson run out towards the sideline. It's wide open. Kenny Pickett sees the safeties covering the top half of the field. I think at this point, the Steelers have been throwing enough to Deontay Johnson where the Jacksonville Jaguars were starting to roll coverage towards him. Wide open. I mean, if Kenny Pickett leads George Pickens right here, this is another touchdown. This is 14 points in the first quarter that didn't get up on the board. Could you imagine what kind of game this would have been had the Pittsburgh Steelers scored 14 points in the first quarter? Severely underthrown ball. Doesn't go anywhere, ends up being a punt. Obvious frustration from George Pickens. Let's check out the protection. Man coverage across the board. Good protection on this one. Just underthrows it. I mean, he had nobody around him. Let's rewind that a little bit. He got an opportunity to step into the throw. No pressure. Just doesn't throw the ball out of his hand right. I will say this. In the games that Kenny Pickett has excelled and played well, have been games where, or especially the games where he's had multiple touchdowns in, were games that were inside. You're looking at the Vegas Raider game. You're looking at, the Pittsburgh Steelers versus Los Angeles Rams. Those games weren't in the craziest they were in controlled temperature, right? So this game here against the Jacksonville Jaguars was in the elements. It was raining off and on, sometimes very heavy. Kenny wears those 2 gloves. Is it possible that, maybe he needs to do something a little bit different when it's raining? We'll see. This is the following play. This is also, the following drive. I'm sorry. This is also on 3rd down. And now this situation, it doesn't matter what the receivers are doing. Isaac Seumalo is just going to get he's just going to be beat on this play. And there's no chance for anything to happen. Warren goes in motion. And look at that. Let's rewind that again. Look at Isaac Seumalo. Just gets pushed out of the way. This is 3rd down. Kenny Pickett sees that pressure in his face, throws it, dumps it out to Jaylen Warren. There's no chance for this play. So nothing can happen down the field because of how fast the pressure is in his face. Isaac Seumalo was supposed to be a guy that is going to be our best offensive lineman on the team. Was supposed to be the find of the offseason. And I'm not saying he's a bad offensive lineman or a bad guard, but he's definitely not been as advertised. This is the best drive for the Pittsburgh Steelers offense, in my opinion, while Kenny Pickett was under the helm. This is the one that ends up going the distance. This is after an interception in the end zone. And this one goes the distance all the way to the other side of the field. Should have been a touchdown. Should have been a 98-yard touchdown drive. So this is a 1st down. First and foremost, I want to say I like the aggression for the Pittsburgh Steelers. It's 1st and 10. And they're at the 2-yard line. I think everybody's thinking they're probably going to come out and run this ball to get it out of there. Not so quick. Pittsburgh Steelers are going to make throw a pass and get a 1st down. So yeah, press coverage at the top of your screen with Deontay Johnson. And what he's going to do is he's just going to run up and then kind of go out and kind of just sit there for Kenny to find him. Let's check out the protection. That's good. No hold. That's a dangerous play because if one of your offensive linemen holds in the end zone, that's a safety. Good throw, good decision, good placement. I like it. And here's the pass that ended up getting big yards on a penalty. This was a pass interference down the field. Now, what the defense is running is a zone defense. And what the Steelers are doing, let me rewind that a little bit. The Steelers are just going deep. You have a scissor type of pattern at the bottom between Deontay Johnson and Calvin Austin. And what's going to end up happening is at least on the bottom half of the screen, you're going to have zone. Although this ends up going for big yards because of the penalty, it really wasn't the right decision to throw it there. Connor Hayward is coming in behind Calvin Austin. Calvin Austin's going to clear everybody going up. Deontay Johnson is going to clear the cornerback at the bottom of the screen by going out towards the sideline. This is going to leave a huge hole for Connor Hayward right there. He's wide open, wide open. Kenny Pickett decides to go for the deep ball. I mean, you got a guy with Calvin Austin who runs 4.3 speed. You expect him to beat the coverage corner there or the defensive back and get open. I mean, if you look at where the safeties are, they're on opposite ends of the field. If he can get that ball over the defensive back and Calvin Austin can get in front of him and catch this ball, I mean, yeah, definitely. It's a home run. It's a home run play. Fortunately for the Steelers, that defensive back never turns his back and makes contact with Calvin Austin. But that defensive back turns around, he can easily deflect that. But Connor Hayward should have been the target on this play. And watch it from the other angle. Protection looks good. He's got time. Sits, throws. Definitely a pass interference. Ends up going well for the Pittsburgh Steelers. This is one of I think another play that Kenny Pickett does well. The way he's able to move up in the pocket here. He feels the pressure, moves up and throws a strike to the sideline there to Deontay Johnson. Let's rewatch that. This is why, this is the type of plays that I guess you can say give you kind of hope for Kenny Pickett, is that he's able, when under pressure, able to move up and make an accurate throw at times. I mean, well, honestly, he probably didn't even need to move up, but he had been under pressure, especially by Walker there from the left side. So he feels the pressure, moves up, makes a good throw. Oh, this play here, it's nice. This is an out pattern. We'll look at the anticipation and the accuracy of this throw. So as Deontay Johnson is making his break, and you can see the cornerback that's defending him is facing inside of the field. So Deontay Johnson's going to be running towards where his back is facing. It's good decision, good throw, good quick decision and throw. And I think the accuracy on here is pretty good. On this play here, there's the next play. This is technically a pass because it's pitched forward to Connor Hayward, but I just wanted to show you guys this play shouldn't be called again. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. There's nobody there. I mean, you're hoping that the entire defense gets tricked on the fake handoff between Pickett and Najee that's happening right here. But if they don't buy it, I mean, it's Connor Hayward versus 4 defenders. And it looks worse from the other side. You can see how this play just doesn't work. Yeah, 2 defenders there. First and foremost, the thought of the run, right? Even if they see the potential handoff to Najee Harris, you're going to have these Jacksonville Jaguar players come down into, the rush in case this is a run. This is goal line defense, right? That's exactly what you see. You have the Jacksonville Jaguars defenders come down. They're right there in front of Connor Hayward. There's nowhere for him to go. Bad play call, in my opinion. Now, this is even worse of a throw. Now, Kenny Pickett, he's had some bad throws in this game, and this is another one. This is another one that kept points off the board. The Steelers ended up scoring a field goal on this drive, but this is the first half. Let's put that into perspective. First half, should have had 14 already. Could have had 21 right now, right? And the defense was doing their thing. Turnovers, interceptions. This game here could have gone significantly different and probably should have been significantly different for the Pittsburgh Steelers. So what does the motion tell you? The motion tells you that they're in man. And what I like about this play is check out the route in red or orange. That's going to be Connor Hayward. What he's going to end up doing is taking both defenders lined up on top of him out of the play. Kenny Pickett's going to look to the right, which is going to force the safety in the middle of the field to turn towards the right. And he's going to have Deontay Johnson wide open, just a miss throw. Connor Hayward takes out both. Look at that. Takes out both defenders, just throws it behind. Let's break this play down a little bit further. I want you guys to see that. And keep your eye on this time on Connor Hayward at the top. He's just going to bulldoze, grab both, boom, take both defenders out. So we see that happening. Right here, Kenny Pickett is looking off to the right, which is forcing the safety who's watching him to also go off to the right. And he's going to leave Deontay Johnson wide open right there. And there's a little bit of pressure in his face. I see that here. But, he's an NFL quarterback. He needs to make this throw. This isn't, I mean, this is kind of the same thing that Mason Rudolph had when he one hopped a pass against the Detroit Lions. Remember that game? It's kind of very similar in this situation. He didn't one hop it, but he threw it just as bad, accurate wise. Just way behind, way behind. On this play, Dan Moore is going to allow pressure. That should have been a hold. Let's rewind that. That should have been a hold. Fortunately for the Steelers, it wasn't. Dan Moore gets beat to the inside. Kenny moves out under pressure, getting chased, and throws a strike. Look at that. That's perfect. Deontay Johnson. Let's rewatch that. Look at where it lands. I mean, can't get any better than that, especially under pressure. Now, this is going to be one of the plays that just didn't work out for the Steelers as far as the refs go. I get it, but I didn't. I thought it was ticky tacky. They should have, or not ticky tacky. I just don't like the fact that they took out 10-second, did a 10-second runoff for the mistake that the refs made. But I like the decision for Kenny Pickett to run in this one. He gets a first down. You're going to see the edge rusher for the Jacksonville Jaguars just beat Dan Moore again. Kenny Pickett feels it and just gets out of there and really does a great job of getting out of trouble. Gets the first down. This is going to be the injury play. This is the play that ends up taking Kenny Pickett out. And in my opinion, I don't know. I think there's a play to be made here and fast enough in the direction of where Kenny Pickett is looking at that would have prevented his injury. So here's what you have. You have the slot receiver doing a comeback, and you have the George Pickens on the outside doing a post. And the reason why this works is because this curl route or this comeback route by the slot receiver is going to pull the defensive player down that's on top of him, and it's going to leave this area wide open. You have zone from the defense. And right here, you can see George is already going to come open. So before he even gives George the opportunity to come open, he's already turned away from it. I don't know if maybe perhaps this play was look over and then turn. So instead of throwing the ball, Kenny kind of just transitions to the left, takes a hit. Now this should have been a personal foul. I don't understand it. These refs were horrible. Let's watch that back one more time. So right here, it's clearly obvious he's looking at Connor Hayward right off the bat, and or maybe also checking to see what the middle linebacker's doing. He's turning to look towards the direction of the slot receiver and George Pickens. If he stays there and just waits half a second more and delivers this ball, he's not sliding to his left going into pressure. Horrible play. And what I mean by that is horrible play by the ref. That's clearly personal foul, injury to the quarterback. He's down. I mean, you threw a ticky-tacky, personal foul earlier in the game with Trevor Lawrence. Deontay said it best. These guys wanted the Steelers to lose, and I would be checking their bank account, making sure that they didn't get paid some little bit extra for the job that they did. So all in all, I don't think it was as bad of a game as it seemed. At first glance for Kenny Pickett and the Pittsburgh Steelers offense. The weather wasn't the best. It's not an excuse. This team needs to be able to perform in the elements. They play in Western PA in an open stadium. It's not like they're in a dome or in, the south side of the country where it's not so cold or the elements aren't a factor. They are. And the later in the season it gets, the worse it's going to be as far as the elements go. It's going to get colder. It's going to get slushier. There's going to be games where there's snow and things like that. So, you guys let me know in the comment section. You think Kenny Pickett is the guy? Is he not the guy? Do you need to see more? You guys let me know in the comment section. I'll be back a little bit later on this week. I think I'm going to throw out some video on how did Mitch Trubisky do in this offense? Was it as bad as we all thought it was? I'll let you know. Hit that like, hit that subscribe button, ring that notification bell. You know what to do.